Guten Tag.
Good morning.
I'm Mike,
I'm Rachel.
and together we are Rocking K Adventures. And in today's installment, we're going to be walking around the homestead and giving you a view of what our life is like here in Germany, what we're dealing with, and tell you about some of the renovations we've made and some of the renovations we're going to make. So let's go for a walk. Okay, so as you can see, it's a lovely rainy day in the Eifel. And here in Germany, the saying is there's no such thing as bad weather. There's just bad clothing. So we're going to walk really quick. And we got the puppy dogs. The puppy dogs needed to go for a run. So they're going to go with us for a little bit. So we have Denver over here. He's a border collie mix. He was a rescue. And then we got Penny Dog, who is an actual purebred German Shepherd that we rescued from a situation where she was going to be brought to the pound because the previous owner they couldn't deal with the dog, so she's a rescue as well. So here in Germany, life's a little different than it is there in America. We are on an urban homestead, so as you can see, there's houses all around us, and like over here, my neighbor they have a chicken coop there, and somewhere in the field is a pony.
He's got about 20 chickens. Every morning you hear the rooster crowing. And the pony's name is Rambo. He might be in the chicken coop.
So we have the fields all here that you see down to the fence lines.
All of our trees are fruit trees. The big ones are the pears. These smaller ones are all cherry trees that we've recently planted. And then the rest are apples. The following field over is all apples. It belongs to our neighbors.
So then we'll take a look back. And right there is our lower barn and the side of the garage. And up there you can see the house. But in that lower barn is where we have that rainwater storage system that I built. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back and go to the channel. And you'll see where I built a 4,000 liter water storage system. But as we're walking along, we'll keep walking. All these trees, like Rachel was saying, they're fruit trees. So like this one's a really big pear tree, and most of the others are all apple, except for these small ones here. These are cherry trees that we planted. Haven't gotten much cherries, but they're still very young.
They've made cherries. I've just not been able to beat the birds to the cherries.
So up there you can see that's where Rachel's garden is. And then these right here are plum trees. And man, plum trees, I've cut these down twice so far and they've come right back. Plum trees are very hardy, and yeah, we have a lot of plum trees.
It's like a weed. Can't get rid of them. So in the previous years, like 30, 40 years ago, the bottom of our field was actually a creek. But through the years, it's gone back down on the ground. But even in the driest of summer, the bottom part of the field is still green because the water is only a few feet below the surface.
So as you can see, the puppy dogs, even though it's a little bit of rain, they're enjoying the walk. So just for information, the German Shepherd, she's about 10 years old. However, the old man, the border collie, he is now 16 going on 17 years. And I'm not going to tell this dog he's old. He runs around here still, and as you can see, he enjoys life, so we're never going to tell that dog he's old. But we came all the way across the property, and there's Mrs. K. And you can see all the way out there is where the chicken coop is. But we bought this property because of the amount of land it had, and we're like right in the middle of a small village.
It's the central park of our town.
So now we're coming up on the back side of the homestead. On this side, we're being led by the adventurous Denver. So what we have back here is this was a cow barn that held about 40 head of cattle. The gentleman who owned the property before us, he farmed. And of course, we bought a working farm. So inside there are all the milking stanchions and everything like that. That's going to be part of our renovations later on. We've already cut most of the stanchions out, and we're hoping that in this fall that we get to leveling the floor and stuff like that, because it'll make a perfect place to store stuff and all that.
We're going to cut across the garage barn here.
Penny, stay close. And then as you can see up there, we have our firewood and stuff. We'll show you that from the other side when we don't have the dogs, because there is a street right there.
Penny.
So, like I said, we bought a working farm, and we bought it from a gentleman who had left and moved out. And this is all stuff that was left behind. We have a barn full of stuff left behind. And of course, this was all in the garages and stuff like that. It's all, we're having a container come, and we're going to get rid of that. But part of what sold us on this property was the amazing view. Because, I mean, look at that view, folks. It goes on for miles.
And pretty much what you see, the houses that you see, that's the extent of the village that we live in. It's not a very big town. Well, it's not even a town, it's a village.
Yeah, we're on one side of the village, and those houses are on the other. And that's like the whole width of the village.
Yep. So as you see in the pear trees, there's lots of fruit. The problem with these pear trees is they're not for eating. These are for making German schnapps out of. They're very bitter when you eat them straight off of the tree. Doesn't matter how ripe or how unripe they are. And they use them to make a schnapps. It's a very famous schnapps in this area. And I don't like it. Mike don't like it, but the Germans like it. And the trees are beautiful, so we leave them.
It's like we were saying, we bought this homestead. It was a lot of stuff on this homestead.
Denver?
We went and replaced the windows here. So you can see there's the old windows. And this week's installment, we were working on a repurposing and what do you call it? Upcycling the door off of that chicken coop. So we pulled the door off the chicken coop because it was in really good shape. And then Mrs. K went ahead, and we're making a sliding door for that hole right there. So that'll be this Friday, I believe it is. We'll have that video up. Last Friday's video was the water storage system and rainwater catchment that showed me making this gutter and this rain catchment system. So we're going to go ahead and put the dogs inside so they don't get much more wet than they are already.
Yeah, the German Shepherd takes days to dry out.
And then we'll take you around the house itself.
Come on, Penny.
So there's the actual house. It is, 4 bedrooms, living room, dining room, and a kitchen.
Full basement, full attic.
Full basement, a full attic. You can see it's got a really unique roof. It's got kind of like 3 pitches on it, because the other end, which we'll show you here in a minute, is just a flat gable. So this end actually has the other pitch on it. But it's the house is 120 square meters total, and I think that's like 1,500 square feet. I'm not really sure, I haven't done any of the math for that, but like I said, it has that unique, like third pitch on the roof.
Pardon all of my weeds. It's been raining for 2 weeks. We've not been able to weed whack or clean the stones.
Yeah, if you watch the water barrel video, you'll see where it was just 100% like dry, bright sun, all that, and over the course of the week, we've gotten nothing but rain, and yeah, so it brought all this to life. So we have to get out here and weed. This is an area where we started a project, and what that project was building an additional room inside one of the barns here. You can see where we have these new windows and this new door. We went ahead and refurbished what was a pig barn, but in the process we found out that the sewer line was broken in this area where it comes out from the house. So we had to wait till this time of the year, where we can open it all up, because now we have to replace all of it coming from our bathroom, which is the last of the small windows that you see there, all the way up to here where the door is, because all this has to have the drainage, and then all the pipes inside the house are clay and they're broken. So we had to replace all of that. Now we're on the part where we have to do it out here. So continuing on, like we were saying about the roof. So we're about to wrap the end here. Man, it's windy. So as we come around, this is my wood pile. This is how we heat our house. That's why I say we're quasi off grid. We're getting ourselves further off grid. So we heat with firewood. So that's the firewood for next year. But like I said, there's a gable end on this end instead of a pitch. So it's kind of unique, 3-pitch roof of sorts. But there's that view again, that lovely view. So the weather's pretty shitty. So we're going to go ahead and go inside and we'll finish this video up. Okay, folks, so now we're inside out of that rain.
And wind. It was really cold.
Yeah, so as you saw in a previous video, we had a dry spell, and we had, like high 80s and such, and no rain for probably like 2 weeks, which led to, hurrying up and trying to get that water catchment system done so that we have water the next time, because they are expecting next week that we're gonna be warm again and potentially dry. So at least now we have 4,000 liters of water, because now those bins are actually full. Yeah. So what do we got going on in the coming week? So in the coming week, we're going to be finishing up the chicken coop door that I was talking about earlier in this video, and getting that hung on that lower barn. And I think
we're gonna continue working out behind that lower barn. We're gonna move we have another water container that we're gonna move behind the greenhouse. Move the greenhouse back. I think he's gonna cut off the wood off the back of that wall.
Yep.
We got to replace like the cracks, or if it's missing the stucco, we have to replace all that. But we need dry days to do that. It can't get wet. And then pressure wash everything off. Pressure off the cement. I'll be working in my garden a little bit because it's going to need it after all this rain.
Yep. Yeah, so it's going to be a busy week. Last week was pretty busy. When I mentioned earlier in the video about us refurbing a pig stall, this is where we're actually sitting. Stall. This is the actual the pig stall. And I don't know if you can see, there's a big orange cat wandering around in the background.
Yeah, that's the third fuzzy child.
That's our third fuzzy child. That's Mustafa.
He's a kitten. He's 2.
Yep. He's a big old boy. He is a Maine Coon. Unfortunately, he is a pet that we did go out and buy, but he was
my birthday present.
It was a birthday present, and he was to replace a cat that we had lost after 20 years. Yeah. So that was Mustafa. If he actually made it in the video, I'm not sure. But you'll see him around. He's a big orange Maine Coon. But so that wraps it up for this week. It's Coffee with the K's here at Rocking K Adventures. If you haven't clicked the like or subscribe, we ask that you please do so, because it encourages us that people are watching our videos, and that
we're not wasting our time.
Yeah, we're a brand new channel. We're just starting out. We're not full-time YouTubers. We're just doing this as a hobby. And you hear all the YouTubers say, click like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Well, it really does. It lets YouTube know that what we're making people like, so they'll promote it a little more, and we'll get a little more viewers and stuff like that. If you have any questions about what you see, go ahead, please put them in the comments. Also, if there's content that you don't like, please be constructive. Offer that criticism in the comments. Please comment. If you know of a better way to do something, comment. I know I'm kind of stomping my foot on this comment and subscribe stuff, but it lets us know that we're actually doing okay, because we need a little bit of encouragement. Starting a channel is difficult, and
even if it's just a hi, Mike likes to read the comments.
Yep. We know people are watching, because we do actually have,
the view counters.
Yeah, the view counter actually shows that we have 150 views or something like that on our videos so far. And while that's encouraging, we have a total of 3 subscribers. So if you click that subscribe button, you could potentially be number 4. Please click the like and subscribe. It will encourage us to keep making content. But until the next time, please, I am a veteran, and I know what veterans go through, and I know what people in general go through. So please, watch out for your friends, watch out for your family.
Do a buddy check.
Do a buddy check. Just a little check-in on somebody might make their day a little easier. And hey, it's 22 a day for the military and the veterans. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up 22 a day, and 22 is way too much. So look out for our fellow man, and do something nice for people, whether it's saying, hey, how you doing, or whatever. I know I'm kind of rambling on it, but it's something that's near and dear to my heart. We're all family in this. So, but until the next time, auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.